If you're studying something demanding, you already know the struggle, right? Trying to find that perfect spot between working your tail off and, actually having a life. So today, we're going to break down how to build a work-life balance that actually works, not just for now, but for your whole career.
Okay, let's just get real for a second. Have you ever had this feeling? Like you're just constantly treading water, trying to keep your head up with all the projects, the reading, the deadlines. It's super common, especially when you're suddenly in charge of your own schedule. And this quote from a student named Sheenoth it hits the nail on the head. That feeling that no matter how hard you run, you're always one step behind everyone else. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know you're definitely not alone. It's a shared feeling, and the best part is you can absolutely do something about it.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to talk about the balancing act. Then we'll get practical and figure out where your time is really going. That's going to lead us straight into tackling procrastination and getting a handle on stress. And we'll wrap it all up with a mindset shift that is crucial for your long-term success.
Okay, let's jump right into part one, the balancing act. And look, this isn't some fluffy, nice-to-have idea. Finding this balance is absolutely non-negotiable, especially on a tough professional track. So it's all about avoiding these two extremes. On one side, you've got the burnout, just work, 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 which, let's be honest, makes for a pretty narrow life. On the other side, the unprepared, the person who just wings it, relies on cramming, that's not going to fly in the long run. Neither of these is sustainable. We're aiming for that sweet spot right in the middle.
So what does reasonable even mean? Well, the source material gives us a pretty solid target, about 10 hours of study a week outside of your actual classes. That could be an hour and a half on weeknights and a couple of hours on the weekend. When you break it down like that, it feels way more manageable, doesn't it?
So we have a target for our time, but how do we actually hit it? Well, that brings us to section 2, diagnosing your time, because we all get the same 24 hours in a day. The real magic is figuring out where those hours are actually going.
All right, time for a quick self-check. Just look at this list. Feeling swamped? Leaving things till the last minute? Getting bogged down in tiny details that don't really matter? If you're nodding along to any of these, you're in exactly the right place. These are just classic signs that a little time management could be a total game changer for you.
Okay, so the key to all of this is figuring out the value of your activities. You've got your high-value stuff, like studying for that exam tomorrow. Then there's medium value, important, but not on fire. And then low-value tasks. You know what I'm talking about. Rewriting notes that are already fine, falling down an internet rabbit hole. The first step is just being honest about which bucket your time is falling into.
And this brings us to a huge idea in time management, the 80-20 rule. Here's the scary part. Without a plan, it's incredibly easy to spend 80% of your time and effort on things that only get you 20% of your actual results. Think about it. You spend hours making your notes look perfect, but that's a tiny fraction of your grade. Most of your energy is going into the things that matter the least.
And this chart just says it all, doesn't it? You can see this huge chunk of time and activity getting poured in only for this tiny little slice of valuable results to come out the other end. Our goal really is to flip that. We want to spend most of our time on the things that actually move the needle. So what's the number one culprit for all those low-value tasks? You guessed it. That brings us to section 3, defeating procrastination. It is the ultimate time thief and a massive cause of stress. So let's talk about how to fight back. So why do we do it? It's almost never about being lazy. It's usually something deeper. Maybe the task just feels too huge, or we're secretly afraid we'll fail, or we're waiting for that magical moment when we're in the mood. The first step is just figuring out which one of these is your personal trigger.
So how do we beat it? It's a pretty simple 4-step plan. First, just admit it. Okay, I'm procrastinating. Second, ask yourself why. Third, make a simple plan, like a daily to-do list. And fourth, and this is maybe the most important part, reward yourself. When you finish something, give yourself a little credit. It makes a huge difference.
Now, if you start managing your time better and kicking procrastination to the curb, your stress levels should naturally go down. But let's be real, stress is a part of life. Learning to master it, that's a genuine superpower.
To get a handle on stress, we have to talk about our ancient primitive wiring. The good old fight-or-flight response. Basically, your body gets flooded with adrenaline to deal with danger. Here's the problem. Your brain can't tell the difference between a saber-toothed tiger and a final exam. It triggers the exact same physical freakout. And that physical reaction is intense, right? Your heart is pounding, your muscles are all tensed up, your digestion literally slows down. This is all great if you need to run for your life, but it's not so helpful when you need to sit still and concentrate. And when that stress doesn't go away, that adrenaline just keeps swirling around in your system. But here's the amazing part. Your body has a built-in antidote. It's called the relaxation response. And as you can see, it's the total opposite. Everything that goes up during stress, your heart rate, your blood pressure, it all comes back down. It's like hitting the brakes. And the best part, you can trigger this response whenever you want.
And here's how you do it. This is a super simple exercise you can do in 5 minutes flat. Just find a comfy spot, close your eyes, and focus on your breathing. Take a few slow, deep breaths. Then, just consciously relax your body, starting from your toes and working your way up. Finally, just picture a place that makes you feel peaceful and happy. It is unbelievably effective.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. Listen to this from a first-year student, Sam, who took up yoga to learn to control their breathing. They said it made them feel more confident about not freaking out in exams. That's because being relaxed actually helps you think more clearly and remember things better. It's a total win-win.
So all these tools, time management, relaxation techniques, they all come together to build our fifth and final piece of the puzzle, the professional mindset. Honestly, this is the skill that holds everything else together.
Because, let's be honest, there are going to be times when all the to-do lists and deep breathing exercises in the world just don't feel like enough. There will be times when the problems feel bigger or deeper, and what you choose to do in those moments, that's what really counts.
And this, right here, is the big takeaway. I want you to really let this sink in. The sign of a truly competent professional isn't having all the answers. It's knowing when you need help and having the courage to go ask for it. Whether that's a tutor, a counselor, or a doctor, reaching out is a sign of incredible strength, not weakness. It's what professionals do.
So I'm going to leave you with a challenge. Thinking about everything we just talked about, what is one low-value activity, just one, that you are going to drop this week? And what are you going to do with that time you just got back to focus on something that really, truly matters?